Liverpool FC reloaded. Liverpool FC reloaded. That is a quote from Jurgen Klopp. That is what we were told Liverpool were going to be like this season. But I think we can see from the lack of control on display from Liverpool at Stamford Bridge that there will be no reload without sorting out their number 6 issue. Now, it's gone slightly wrong because Caicedo and Romeo Lavia have both chosen Chelsea. It now fills me with joy. It fills my heart with happiness to introduce my dear friend and Liverpool fan, Ade Oladipo, to the channel. Now, before we get into hearing Ade's thoughts, I have to let you know that Ade is nearing, ever encroaching on 50,000 subscribers. So, in his moment of need, in his moment of pain, in his moment of torture and torment, can we help Ade get to 50k? Please drop a sub on his channel. The link is in the description below. Ade, now, Liverpool FC reloaded. What's going on?
Yeah, certainly not reloaded. That's not worked, has it? It's I don't know. It's the sad indictment of what's been an awful want for this number 6 position. I mean, look, it might have been Tchouaméni last season. Didn't want us. Fair dues, Real Madrid, right? Who's going to turn down Real Madrid? I was adamant. I said on this show of ours that Jude Bellingham's coming. I know he's coming because Trent put something out on Instagram and Jordan Henderson's been speaking about it. He decided he wants to not come to us and he's gone to Real Madrid. And then I thought, okay, I don't mind if we start the season with Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, and then the players that we've got, Szoboszlai, McAllister. I was very happy with that. I think I told you. Bit of experience, bit of youth, and then you've got a couple of young players as well. All of a sudden, then Henderson and Fabinho go, and then panic starts to kind of ensue. All right, get Lavia in. And I have to be brutally honest with you. I don't know too much about Lavia. I think he's only played 36, 37 senior football matches. But like, if Klopp wants him, get him in. We make 2 bids that are both rejected. They want 50 million, they be in Southampton. We bid 45, they reject us. Obviously, they want 50. If you want him so desperately, pay him. We then decide not to pursue him anymore and go Caicedo. I'm excited because I'm thinking, look, it's a lot of money, but I think Caicedo is a bit of a baller. He turns us down and says he wants to stay at Chelsea, wants to go to Chelsea. All right, then quickly get Lavia. Oh, no, Lavia then wants to go Chelsea. Mess.
It's a mess.
It's the biggest, and Liverpool have always done business quickly. Got it done. Got it over the line.
We're little broing you. That's what we're doing here. That's what cool people say. You're our little bro.
No, you're buoying us. That's what they say. That's what the word on the street is. You're buoying us right
buoying
now.
You off.
You're not just buoying us with one. One I can understand because there's been this link with Caicedo and Chelsea for about 6 or 7 weeks. There's been this link ever since the season ended. Caicedo. So I can understand if we're trying to jump in and nick your player. I can understand why his heart's set on Chelsea. I get it. We've seen videos and images now of him wearing a shirt.
Yeah, 6-7 years ago. Yeah, with his mum.
I kind of get there's a connection there. But we were going to pay big money. He's decided not to. Lavia.
Yeah.
Like, I get missing out on Jude Bellingham. I get missing out on Tchouaméni. I get missing out on Caicedo. Lavia said no.
But do you know why?
Lavia, that was guaranteed to start for Liverpool. I said, you know what? Don't fancy
But do you know why? On principle from him, I kind of understand it because for weeks you had the opportunity to sign him and you chose not to. Then you've made quite a significant attack to get hold of him only because you didn't get your other fella. Like on principle from him, he'd go, no, mate, I'm not your cast off. I'm not your second option. I'm not somebody that you turn to when your first choice doesn't work out. I understand why he has the principle to go, actually
second option for you. Second option for you. You guys as well. Your first option is Caicedo. He wasn't even in your radar. He wasn't even in your thinking up until 72 hours ago.
No, but it's slightly different for Chelsea because Chelsea's desire to sign more midfielders. Caicedo we always needed. Lavia we now need because of an injury to Nkunku. We're going to play a different shape and a different system. Your shape's the same. You just didn't fancy Lavia when you had the opportunity to sign him. We, because of what happened against Dortmund in the sand, Mats Hummels, that's why we are now playing a different shape. That's why you saw us playing 5 at the back against Liverpool. That's why we now need additional cover in the midfield. I also think that Lavia knows, and I don't agree with this, but I think he knows that despite Conor Gallagher's brilliance against Liverpool, he will probably be sold.
Yeah, I think this is just an embarrassment from all the hierarchy at Liverpool. Not necessarily Jurgen Klopp, because Jurgen Klopp's obviously pointed at the man and said, like, get him in. And Liverpool have tried to go cheeky, a bit like Arsenal back in the day, have gone cheeky with a slightly lower bid. And Southampton have said, look, if you want him, and I like what Southampton are doing, very much what like Brighton are doing, if you want him, this is the fee. This is the fee. It's simple. It's 50. Why go in with 45? What is 5 million quid to Liverpool?
I know.
Go in with 50 and get him if you desperately want him. It's got so bad. Liverpool went back in when they didn't get Caicedo with 60.
Yeah.
And they didn't get him.
No, but we've both done that. Like, nobody comes out of this looking good apart from Brighton with regard to Caicedo. Because...
No, you look good because you've got your midfield.
No, we've paid...
you say that, but you've got the midfield.
We've paid £15 million more than we had to.
I agree. And ultimately, if it doesn't work out, you look back on that. But I think it will work out.
No,
I think you've got two good players.
Yeah.
Your midfield, your next game, will probably be Lavia, Caicedo and Enzo.
Yeah, and your midfield is still really struggling.
Our midfield is still...
Because you need him. You know when Chelsea were in the ascendancy at Stamford Bridge? You know when things were going our way? Look, when it was going your way, I think you were very good. And there is an element of misfortune. I've got another good mate from when I was at university at Liverpool who was sort of texting me, driving me mad, to be totally honest with you, sorry, but he was. And he was talking about the bad luck. He was like Salah's goal, and then he was talking about the handball, the Nicholas Jackson handball in the penalty. He was talking about that. And look...
He didn't watch the game properly.
I don't think it was... Those incidents, maybe you could talk about luck, but ultimately the reason that Liverpool didn't win the game was because you didn't have the control in the middle. When Chelsea were on the ascendancy, when Chelsea were on the front foot, you couldn't take the sting out of the game. Nobody. Bearing in mind, this is a brand new Chelsea team. Brand new manager. Liverpool had 35% possession. Your lowest for 5 years.
I've never... I saw at one stage it was 24%.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never seen a Liverpool game like that. And this is actually... I think this is good for Fabinho, right? I know he's gone... But like the stick he got last season, and it's almost like, okay, watch when I'm not there. If you think it's all because of me, watch when I'm not there and see the gaping hole.
Yeah.
And there was a gaping hole.
Look, Szoboszlai, brilliant. McAllister, I thought he had a very good game, right?
Very good.
But they need that six to operate in between them.
Yeah,
they need that player.
They're simply not them.
And it's now got to the stage where Chelsea have signed Lavia. We are now, I don't want to get carried away here, but I don't see how we don't win the league.
What?
I think we're really good. Look, winning the league could be a little bit beyond us.
Yeah.
But I think in the prediction videos that we did, I said
I think I had you. No, I think I had you 7th or 8th.
Yeah, we're better than that now,
I needed to see Jackson up front. He's got legs about him.
Pochettino's
good. Reece James concerns me with his injuries. Ben Chilwell looked good. The way he took that goal was almost better than most of your forwards you've had at the club for the last 5 years.
Lovely finish on him, Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, Lukaku ain't doing that. Do you know what I mean? So he looked very good. But look, back to Lavia choosing Chelsea over Liverpool. What I found was interesting. Look, we don't know what money's being offered, right? No one knows the wages. But if Liverpool have offered exactly the same money as Chelsea, and I think they've gone in at exactly the same bid, pretty much, around 55, 60, I think the biggest concern for Liverpool fans here is that Lavia has chosen Chelsea over Liverpool. And there's always been this talk of if a player gets in and Klopp speaks to him and puts his arm around him, Klopp will convince you of the project. We've had about 4 or 5 top players in the last few years decide, no, I'm not convinced of the project. I'm not coming.
Yeah, Lavia picked Chelsea.
Lavia picked Chelsea. New manager. Lavia picked Chelsea, who are, look, you're spending a lot of money, but you're all over the place, really, because we know what's going on with Chelsea. New manager. A manager, Chelsea, the average term of a manager's 2 years. He has still picked that over Klopp.
I think he was open to Liverpool. I think Joe Shields would have played an important role here. But the fact that he picked Chelsea, it is a symbolic thing. And I don't think... Look, I would have always said, I'm very aware of the majesty and presence that Liverpool Football Club have. And I think Jurgen Klopp is arguably the best manager in the world. It's not necessarily my opinion, I think Guardiola, but you could argue.
I know what you mean.
Right?
In terms of sort of a pound-for-pound manager.
But this is where it's interesting. A player of Lavia's age could easily look at Chelsea and Liverpool and prefer Chelsea. Chelsea, when he was growing up, were a bigger institution, were a more successful institution.
What do you mean when growing up, though? What do you mean by when growing up?
So if you think about...
Liverpool have been quite successful in the last 6 years.
But not in the same way that Chelsea have over the past 2 decades. For his entire life, Chelsea have been
the more successful club.
Chelsea have been the more successful club and also more iconic. Like, he's Belgian. Eden Hazard was there. Lukaku was there. De Bruyne was there. Like, I think that he could look at Chelsea and think that Chelsea really do...
But in the last 6 or 7 years, Liverpool have been to 3 Champions League finals, which a lot of European players take as quite... It's a big thing, isn't it? It's a big thing, European finals. And surely he's looked at that and thought, this is a big club, big European finals.
Yeah.
Yes, we lost 2, but we've been there.
Yeah. Seen Chelsea win one as well, though. Seen Chelsea win domestic trophies all his life.
Hazard could be the key point here.
Eden Hazard.
There's been others. There's been, I mean, who knows? But Schweier had a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big club.
yeah.
Go to it. It's a nice club.
Yeah.
It's a big club. I'm just thoroughly disappointed because...
The other thing is as well for Lavia, you know, when you look around at Chelsea, he'd be thinking, linking up with Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo and himself is how he would see it. I imagine Conor Gallagher would have something to say about this, but he would see it with Carney Chukwuemeka in front, Nicholas Jackson in front, Mudryk on one side, maybe Raheem Sterling on the other, Maatsen.
No,
but
there's no way.
Bearing in mind he's so young.
I agree, but there's no way he's not looking and thinking Salah. There is no way he's not thinking Salah, Van Dijk. There's no way he's not thinking those monster players.
But the
you're thinking of young players growing up with.
I'm thinking that he could look around that Chelsea, the Chelsea players that I just mentioned. Like, if you think about Chelsea players, Raheem Sterling, Thiago Silva aside, like Ben Chilwell is the senior pro. Ben Chilwell's like 26 years old. He's only just come to the club. This is all new, young, hungry, exciting, dynamic.
I agree, but Liverpool have got two players that just won the European Under-21 Championship with England. Young. In terms of Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. Young.
But it's
Szoboszlai, 22. Szoboszlai. McAllister, 23, 24. It's not an Asian team. Darwin Núñez, 23. It's a young team.
So
Gakpo.
So why is it? Is it London?
London's a pull. London's a big pull. But it could be what you said at the top. Like, you had the chance to buy me. I was ready to go. You came in low. Oh, you put me on the bench. Went for Caicedo and was going to go all in for Caicedo. And it wasn't like what you've done, where you've gone Caicedo and Lavia. Liverpool were going to get Caicedo and shut up shop. So you've gone Caicedo, even though I was your number one target. Caicedo's not worked out. Then you've come back to me. And I can understand how that, especially... Lavia's agent has been waiting for the phone call. Oh, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And all of a sudden, Liverpool put a British transfer record fee in for Caicedo. What? Are they even still picking up the calls? Then all of a sudden, you're desperate to turn around again.
Recruitment here is all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fabinho's gone. Henderson has gone. They must have seen this.
It's shocking. It's horrendous.
It's
and
so
if you're
obvious.
Jurgen Klopp, look, Jurgen Klopp won't go too hard on FSG. But if there's a time to, it's this time. It's this time. Like, your summer spend, considering how awful the season was last year, your summer recruitment can't be Szoboszlai and McAllister. No. I'm sorry.
Not when you lose that
I didn't even know who... I know we like to, you know, this is football. We like to pretend we know everything about football. I didn't know about Szoboszlai until we played from the Hungary England game. Didn't know about him. Everyone talks about him being one of the best European talents in world football. Didn't know about him. And McAllister's done well in the last couple of seasons. Again, this is a team who were talking about Tchouaméni and Jude Bellingham 12 months ago. Yeah. And we've ended up with this.
How good do you think Lavia is going to be at Chelsea? Do you think he's going to start and be brilliant? Do you think this is going to work? Do you think Pochettino's the right man?
I don't know. Let's be honest.
You sound so...
No, I'm more upset about Caicedo. Lavia is almost a bit like... Man, I watched him a couple of times for Southampton. I didn't think he was God's gift of a footballer. Caicedo's buried us. I've watched Caicedo against us, and I've watched him against big teams. And I'm like, whoa, bloody hell, he gets about the pitch. Lavia only played one time for Belgium. Yeah, he's a good player, but he's only... I mean, remember, there's a Belgian team that's aging, and he's not got into their squad yet, so he's only played one cap for Belgium. He's only 19, I get it. But
it is great news for Pochettino and Chelsea, isn't it? It's great news simply because we've got our man.
Yeah, and you've beat another top team to get your man.
Which is the statement that this team needed.
And you've done it all. See, you've done it with Mudryk and Arsenal. You've done it a lot. Now, can that team all of a sudden, this team of misfits, can they all of a sudden collectively come together in one season? I'm not sure.
Also, mate, 50 million quid for Lavia in the modern day market. It's actually really good value, isn't it? When you think that Fabinho... I know he went to Saudi. Okay, that's a bad example because of the Saudi connect. But I think 50 million quid for a young, proven Premier League talent is actually really good value.
This is the problem. Young talent, I'll give you. Proven, I'm not quite sure. If we're saying proven after one season of football with a team that got relegated, and I don't know if that's proven. I know that's proven. Yes, he can play Premier League football. We know that. But Southampton last season were awful. And one thing we always said about Southampton, look, this is me trying to hate a bit because we haven't got him. But the one shining light we said about Southampton was never Lavia. It was always James Ward-Prowse. Yeah. If he doesn't play, they're in trouble. I don't remember anyone speaking highly of Lavia.
No, but do you remember when Pep Guardiola spoke about him?
Because he was at City.
No, but when he went to that KDB Cup, you know, the Kevin De Bruyne Cup. He went over to that. I think he was at Anderlecht, and I think Guardiola was just the guest.
Yeah.
and he clocked Lavia. And this is in 2015. Lavia's a child.
That's why he got him then.
Yeah, and he couldn't take his eyes off him.
Yeah.
So although people were, I agree, people were focusing on Ward-Prowse because he was a senior pro and he was the heartbeat of the team, and he is or was Southampton. People have been talking about Lavia for a lot. Like when Guardiola spots you.
That's it.
Yeah.
I just hope the pressure isn't too much, and Poch is great at sort of nurturing players, but I hope it's not too much considering what's happened in this window. I hope people don't expect miracles from him, and that's why I hope from, and I don't really care actually, but from a Chelsea point of view, I think it'll be smart to keep Conor Gallagher there and you rotate those two, as opposed to one of them automatically gets that berth alongside Caicedo and Enzo. But look, great signing for Chelsea, bad for Liverpool, very, very bad for Liverpool. And now there's two things here, and it's happened with Declan Rice. Now everyone knows you've got 115 million in a kitty and you're desperate. There's been talks about Liverpool trying to get Paulinho from Fulham. Fulham now know. 1 second.
It's got to. Do you know who it's got to be?
They're going to think you were going to go Lavia 60. I'm sorry,
So
you're going to add
60.
another 30.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
more. They're going to
You
want more. Yeah. Paulinho had a better season than
Do you know
Lavia.
do you know who you're going to end up with? Calvin Phillips.
Don't want him at the club.
I think that's the answer.
Don't want him at the club.
I think that's all you've. I think that's it.
Then Klopp's messed up, and someone has to take responsibility to letting Fabinho go and your captain go, and the gap is filled by Calvin injury-prone Phillips.
Remember on his
We have a
day
problem.
though.
On his day, when's that day? I haven't seen it for about a year and a half.
Mate, fascinating story. Fascinating transfer window. And
Can't even get James Ward-Prowse anymore, can we? He's gone.
It's gone. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, I'm so grateful for Ade Oladipo doing these videos with me. Please make sure that you subscribe to his channel. The link is in the description below. We will see you all in a bit.